Authorities also confirming tragically two deaths in McLean County. We turn this now over to KOCO's Megan Mosley, who is in the town of Cole. She is standing by live with OHP Trooper Eric Foster. Hey, Megan.
Trooper Foster, tell us, what is the damage here in Cole?
So as you can see, it's very significant, and the damage is a little bit different than it was in Shawnee, where it's in kind of an area where you can see it and you get to it. In these rural communities, the homes and the structures, the barns, things are in tree lines and things like that. And so the damage is widespread. As the sun came up this morning, we were able to see, get a better view of it. The response has been great, both from the organizations, the utility companies, the state agencies, the municipal agencies, fire departments, volunteer fire departments, but also the citizens. We've seen a great outpouring of love and support to try to help this community. Obviously it's devastating. The grid searches that we did conduct are almost completely finished. We've went through those grids once, but we always go back again to make sure that they're and checking even every storm shelter and things like that to make sure everyone is okay and safe.
Any idea how many people are displaced?
So right now we don't have a number on that. Emergency management is gathering those numbers for us to try to get the number of displaced, the number of damaged structures, things like that. And we will have a better view probably by the end of the day.
And we heard about 3 fatalities.
There have been 3 fatalities in the storm so far. There's conflicting information whether all 3 came from one area or different areas. However, to me, it doesn't matter. 3 lives lost in just the path of the storm in total. So, unfortunately, that's our hearts go out to everyone involved. There are other things as well, other people that are injured, all the way from just minor scrapes and bruises to significant injuries. And so all those are being taken care of.
Anyone still unaccounted for?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's why we're still in that grid search pattern. We want to make sure that everyone is accounted for, and until we can say 100% that everyone is accounted for, we're not going to stop those grid searches. So that's why we do that.
So can you talk about those unincorporated areas where those 2 fatalities came out? You were telling me earlier that it was kind of difficult to survey them because they're so rural. Touch on that.
It is. So a lot of times in these rural areas, you have dirt roads that are just 10 feet wide. And so when you think about equipment coming in, like fire apparatus or bigger machinery to remove debris, you can't do that with just, your hands a lot of times. And so to get equipment in takes a lot of time and effort. And so after 1 or 2 of those pieces of equipment get in, and then 4 or 5 get in, then it becomes really cumbersome to move around, obviously. And so we saw that a lot last night because we had such a great outpouring of first responders coming to the scene, taking care of it, that really just getting to those individual homes one at a time. It was different than it would be, obviously, searching in an urban area.
And we heard about people stuck in storm shelters. What was the response like getting them out?
So obviously, whenever we hear someone in a storm shelter, especially in these suburban areas or these rural areas, we go immediately on foot to those areas, and then we tell them, we know that you're there. We know that we're here. Are you okay? What can we do to help you? Talking through doors. And all right, we're going to leave someone here with you. We're going to go back and get equipment because, as we said, we're not bringing that. So we'll go get equipment and bring it back to you. That's how that occurs. And just because we didn't get a call doesn't mean we don't check that shelter. So every shelter we find, we check.
Can you talk a little bit about the community response here? I mean, I've seen neighbors helping out, law enforcement kind of working together, cleaning up some debris. What have you experienced?
Yeah, immediately when I arrived, and I was right behind the storm, following it in. Immediately, citizens were here with equipment, with backhoes, with tractors, things like that. Anything they could. I saw a pickup truck just wrapping a chain around a pole that was in the road and wrapping it and moving it out of the way. That's just Oklahoma. That is not anything new to us. That doesn't surprise us. People help people, and that's what you're seeing all across. When this happened, we had an outpouring of water and things like that. So that's what you see in Oklahoma. It's really, I wouldn't say expected, but that's who we are.
Is there anything that folks can do to help out?
So right now we're trying to set up the exact needs. There are a lot of things coming in, but we're trying to narrow that down to exact needs. The McLean County Sheriff's Office is working really well with the Emergency Management Department, really putting that together, and we'll have better information on that. I know that the McLean County Sheriff's Office have been pushing a lot of that out on their Facebook, and they'll continue to do that. If you have, if you think that you have something that someone could need, feel free to call and ask.
Do we have estimates of how many are without power?
We don't know yet, but we have been told by OEC that it's under 500 at this point, which is a really good marketed improvement because it hit an actual substation. So it knocked a lot of power out. You saw, just driving in, you saw all of the poles, all of the equipment, all of the personnel there. And so that's a good number to hear, 500, and it's moving very quickly. As soon as they fix one piece of equipment, that's literally fixes 100 customers. So that's where we're at right now.
Are you saying a tornado was actually, or I'm sorry, that a substation was hit by a tornado, or was it just damaged in the storm?
It was damaged from the winds and things like that. So it actually sustained damage. Yes, sir.
Any estimation on when that power will be back on?
I can't speak for OEC. I know that they've been working from the damage I saw last night to what we have today. It is vast. They are working very well, and they're not the only ones. We get into a mutual assistance role where other agencies and other people come to help together, and that's what's going on. And so it's moving very quickly, and we should be up very soon.
Any animals unaccounted for?
I don't know that there are any unaccounted for. I haven't heard of that. I've heard of animal injuries, and obviously, especially in a rural area, you have large animals that are out here with cows, horses, things like that. And I have heard of some of those that were injured, possibly fatalities for some of them. I don't know. We're checking through all of that.
Are you all able to release the names yet on those who died in the storm?
We aren't we're not releasing them yet.